And good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening to you all, the good and wonderful people of the tube. Hope today, hope you're feeling grand, and all's well in the world. Hello, everybody. There's a couple of things I want to talk about in this video. I've been pondering about doing this kind of video for kind of a while, like this kind of style of video, if you will. It's kind of like it's almost more like a vlog than it is kind of like a normal kind of review or anything like that. So there's a couple of things I want to talk about today. So the first thing I want to talk about is gear snobbery. Certain YouTube, I mean, I don't watch a great deal of guitar YouTube at all anymore, like if any. I mean, I'm trying to think, what was the last thing? Well, the last thing I watched on YouTube really depressed me and reminded me why I don't watch it. I don't like certain elitist natures in certain channels of kind of like, if you don't have like a PRS and a 2-rock, then you're not a guitarist, and I hate that kind of that thing of like, just that, you know, it's almost like your worth of a guitar player is based on your gear, and that's absolute nonsense and stupidity in its best form. It's just ridiculous. I don't like it, and I watched a video. I'm not going to mention what channel it was. I don't think that's fair. But I was watching this channel, and I was just like, one of the guys in the channel was just like, it was just so kind of like detached from certain realities of kind of like what musicians and certain people can afford and what they can't afford. Bad mouthing kind of like cheaper pedals, cheap guitars, cheap amps, stuff like that, and like, basically saying like, I want stuff that's gonna last. It's like, well, I've had loads of cheap gear and it's all done me okay, you know what I mean? And I know a lot of people who have cheap gear and it does them okay as well. Not everyone can afford PRS and 2-rock and all sorts of other expensive stuff. I mean, it's very, I don't know anybody who can afford that stuff, And it gets on my wick, people YouTube, when I see this kind of thing going on. It really, really annoys me, it upsets me. And so I just wanted to have a waffle on that, and I just want to get your opinion, people YouTube. What do you think? Because there is a lot of that. There is a lot. I mean, there always has been. Like I say, when I was growing up, playing guitar, like, I clearly remember like my second ever amp was a Carlsberg GLX 100 combo. I've still got it. It's just in the room there, and it's a great amp. It's loud as all hell, and it does the job. And when you go into the distortion channel, it sounds like Finless's Jailbreak album. It's got that kind of tone to it. It's really, really cool. But I remember going to a gig with it, and it's all I had, and it's all we could afford. I had my Squire Strat, my Washburn Maverick series, I had my Zoom 606, and I had my Carlsberg GLX. That's all we could afford. The GLX cost about 80 quid, I think it was, and again, that's all we could get to scrape up money wise. I was 17 years old, 17 years old, and it's all we could have. I remember I got to this gig, and like on the stage there was like Marshalls and like Ampeg bass amps and Gibson guitars and Fender guitars, and I was like, whoa, you know. And this bloke came up, well, this lad came up. I say bloke, this lad, he's older than I am now, younger than I am now, older than I am now. I don't know what I'm on about. He's an idiot. Shut the F up, Dave, and get on with it. Either way, he was younger than I am now. That's what I want to say. And I say lad, but anyway, he came up and I put my amp on stage, and I was really proud of it because I was like, you know, I can gig, you know, because I was gigging from the get go, and I needed something bigger than PV Rage, and I had my Washburn, and I was really proud of that, and I had my Squire Strat, and it looked like John Frusciante's, so I was happy, and I had a Zoom 606 with multi effects. I was like, hey. And this guy that came up on stage, the bass player of the main band, who had these big amps, and they were rich kids, and he just went, well, that's a piece of shit, innit? And he goes, your entire rig actually is crap, innit? Bearing in mind I'd only been playing maybe about 11 months, maybe. And I didn't really know much about gear. I just knew what kind of it worked, and again, it was all I could afford at the time. I couldn't afford anything else, you know. That was what I had, you know. And it just really annoys me, and even to this day, you know, certain people, I mean, I know certain people, and I am one of those people, you have to be careful how much you buy and what you buy, because, you know, you don't have as much disposable income as certain other people. And I do believe people with higher disposable income kind of forget that. They forget kind of like, you know, cheaper pedals and cheaper guitars and cheaper amps is all that some people can get. You know, I'm sure there's a desire in every guitarist and every musician to own nice expensive gear, because there just is, even in me. And I've got some nice expensive gear, excuse me. But I love the cheap stuff just as much, and throughout the years of playing stuff like, you know, like this East Coast Tele, and you know, Guitarmas and CL120s and Marshall MGs, and like, you know, the old Marshall pedals, and playing relatively cheap, affordable gear, it does me just as good as anything else. Like, you know, if I was to sell it all and get like a really fancy PRS or whatever, it's, you know, it might not make me as happy as like stuff like this does, you know. And it just wouldn't work for me, and I don't like that. So that was I just didn't like that, and that kind of neatly brings me on to the next thing, is the John Frusciante signature Stratocaster. So I've started to see a couple of videos now on the $20,000 or whatever it was, 20 grand, John Frusciante signature Strat, and I don't know what I think to it, people with a tube. As a John nut, there's certain things about it that make me go, where's this? Where's that? Why is that missing? What the hell's going on there? That doesn't look right. Like, loads of these things where I'm just like, what the hell? My friend Matt, who lives in Paris, Matt's Guitar Shop, he's got one, and he did a really cool video on his, and it's really weird, because like, it's got this really green, mint green scratch plate, which John's does not have. It would have originally, but John's changed his scratch plate from the original celluloid mint green one to just a bog standard, like, you know, Japanese mint green scratch plate, somewhere between 2003 2004. It was like around the Hyde Park era kind of shows. It got changed around that period of time, and you can always tell, like, you know, it's a different scratch plate because it's got no recess here for the truss rod. The screw above the neck pickup is in a different place. It's like a later 64 kind of whole scratch plate. And the scratch plate they've got on the John signature Strat is far too green. It's far too green. It does not look like that on John's Strat. It didn't even look like that. The original didn't even look that green. It's really weird, and it's kind of, when you look at it, you're like, oh, that looks odd. It looks really weird to me. And I was just like, again, it just gets me. And then there's certain bits of wear on John's guitar that are like, really, as a John nut, like, you know it, like, inside, everyone knows John's 62 Strat, inside and out. I know that guitar so well. And there's bits of wear missing on the back, there's bits of wear missing on the front, the plectrum wear is too clean and tidy, it doesn't look quite right. The pattern's not bad, but it's not quite right either. Considering they had John's guitar at the custom shop, and it means you could get the exact dimensions of the wear and where it is, to miss certain things and to get dimensions wrong and stuff like that, it's just a bit weird. And for that much money, it's crazy. I mean, I know it's a collector's item. It's not meant for people like me. It's for the collector's market, that guitar is. It's not made for people like me and fans of John. Well, rich fans of John, maybe, but most fans of John don't have $20,000, pounds, whatever, disposable income to buy one of those things, and they only made X amount of them. So I don't know what I think to it, Pucci. I would love to see one in person. I mean, odds are that will never happen, but I would love to see one in person and see what it's like in person and see what, does it play right? Does the neck feel like a real 62? Does it, how does it sound? What does the Replica look like in person? Because from what I've seen on certain videos, like, I don't know, I'm not impressed just from the get-go. It looks all right. It's a bit strange, though. A little bit strange. I remember when they bought out the Greenie, Gibson bought out the Greenie, the what was it, the $50,000 Greenie Replica. And Trogley's guitar show, he got one and he took it apart, and it's missing certain elements of Greenie, and I'm like, where the hell's that? Like, I really thought they would have made a thing of, like, inside the real Greenie, the neck pickup, because it got fixed by Selma, doesn't have a braided wire. It's a grey wire to the neck pickup, the replacement. It doesn't have that. And I know I'm being finicky here and a bit kind of like, nitpicky, but for 50 grand, I would want it exact, and it just wasn't. And also, like, those two holes on Greenie as well, where the top jack strap button is. There's one here, and then there's another one above it. It looks like at one point it's been drilled, like, it's a bigger hole. It looks like it's been drilled out for strap locks. Probably Gary Moore did it, and then just kind of left it. I don't know. Sadly, Gary was probably the only one who would know, and he's unfortunately no longer here. But there's certain things like that missing from the guitar, and I'm like, this isn't a one-to-one replica. If you're missing out certain details like that, it just isn't a one-to-one. And the same goes for the John Strat. I was looking at, like, really good, like, pictures of John's Strat, and I was like, it's missing this bit, it's missing that bit, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong. And I'm like, how did, it just looks weird. From a distance, it looks great, and then in the videos I've seen of it, as you get closer, it doesn't look as good. It's really strange. I really don't know what to think of it. So, people of the tube, John Frusciante fans especially, what do you think of the John Frusciante signature Strat? What's your thoughts on it? Because to me, I'm not sold yet at all. I mean, it's a mad amount of money for it to look not 100% right. The scratch plate is the biggest thing for me. It looks really weird, and that dog really needs to stop barking. It's driving me spare. Anyway, it's been barking for like an hour now. It's like, let it back in. It obviously doesn't want to be outside. Anyway, it brings me on to the last thing, Pucci, I want to talk about in this video. My guitar course that's out. I have been blown away by the amount of people that have signed up to it and are on it, and the community that's on it as well and is developing. I am loving it so far. It's really, really cool. I get on there as much as I can. I love the fact of doing live streams on this guitar course. Isn't like doing live streams on YouTube or Instagram. Like, I can see you. Everyone can see each other if they choose to have their camera on, and everyone can talk. It's not text, you know what I mean? You can do the texting as well. But I love putting faces to names and stuff like that. It's really cool. So, and I say it's really cool. I'm getting some amazing feedback as well from, like, courses. People saying, like, the lessons are really kind of laid out in a way that works for me and stuff like that. I'm blown away, and I'm really, 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 really happy about how it's going. If you didn't know, if you missed it, like I say, there is a link in the description box below where you can go and you can see my guitar course. If you want to sign up, you can. There's a lot on there at this point in time to go through. I'm going to ease back on kind of putting lessons out, but the idea of it wasn't just a guitar course. Me and my friend Richard, who have kind of set it up, we didn't want it to just be kind of like, here's a load of lessons, see you later. the idea was to create an entire community of guitar geeks like me and you, and give us a place to kind of like, you know, connect with other people. You can connect with me directly. You can talk to me directly on there, and just create a community of like-minded people who just like love certain things, like, you know, the same thing. Sorry, and not only that, but you've got all the lessons on there. There's backing tracks on there. It was really cool the other day. This guy was having trouble with the Stevie Ray Vaughan Texas Shuffle kind of playing, you know, but it was a that kind of thing. And the really cool thing was, because he kind of explained, oh, I'm having trouble with this, I could quickly do like a little video explaining what I did to learn. You know, what I did to kind of like, you know, like I did this technique of open strings with an up pick, and then low pick down on low E, and then mute. That thing. And it was really cool to get feedback from that person, and not only other people saying, oh, I can do it now, like it makes more sense, I like it. So it's really cool, and I'm loving the community. I'm loving the way it's kind of like developing. So if you want to be part of that, then please follow the link in the description box below. Top link will take you to my guitar course and, like I say, the community as well. And the community is something that we want to kind of like grow to be something beyond just me. You know what I mean? And that's what's going on. That's what I really love about the community on the channel at this point, on the guitar course at this point in time, is everyone's helping everybody out. Like it's a real cool thing to see. Like, some people will come in and say, like, you know, how do I do this? And then other people are like, oh, I'd try this or try that or try this, try that. And it's really a really cool community of everyone kind of helping each other through, and I love that. And it's really cool. And it's just ace. I really do love it. So, link to that in the description box below, as well as links to other things to do with me and my band and ways to support the channel on YouTube. Also support to how to, I'll say, sign up to the guitar course online. So it's all down there. As well as links to band Red Giant, my band, who are kind of in well, it's quiet time of the year for gigging now. So, excuse me. We do have one more gig left this year in December. I think it's the 6th. But I'm looking forward to that. Can't wait for that. Feels like forever since we did the last one. But yeah, I am loving the guitar course at this point in time. It's really, 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 really cool. I am very proud of it. I'm very proud of it so far, and I'm really proud of the community that we're building there. I'm really proud of my videos as well on that. I really try to kind of like leave no stone unturned, and I feel I did that. I was filming for a month solid to get all the lessons done, and I had to edit them all and then upload them all. It took me a long time, and it took me a long time before that to really zero in and focus in on what I wanted to teach and how I wanted to teach it, because I try and stay away from like the theory aspect of things, because to me, I want to teach you how to play the guitar, not kind of understand all kind of modes and stuff like that. Other people can do that. My job is to kind of get you to play the guitar and love it and just enjoy it and just turn the brain off. You know, it's not, my job is to make you not think about playing and just go for it. You know. Anyway, I hope that made some kind of sense. But yeah, I don't know about this kind of style of video, people tube, this little vlogs where I just like, you know, have a bit of a waffle and a bit of a rant about stuff. Let me know what you think. This is just a bit of a tester, really, kind of thing. Let me know what you think, and yeah, I'll see you again on Friday for another video. Video coming on Friday, people tube. We have a 7-string to look at. 7-string is something I've never really got into before, but I'm really enjoying it, but not for the reasons I thought. And I'll talk a bit more of that in Friday's vid, but and I'll tell you about it. Wait, you'll see it on Friday. But it's a super cool guitar. Well, saying that, if you follow me on social media, you'll probably see it before Friday anyway. But yeah, it's really cool, and not for the ways I thought I would like it. It's really quite bizarre, actually. I'm a bit flummoxed by it, if you will. That's a good word for it. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on what I've had a bit of a waffle about PeterTube, like the guitar gear snobbery thing. What's your thoughts on that? Like I say, because it really got me the other day when I watched this video, and this guy was saying, like, you know, if you want to buy cheap Chinese pedals, that's fine, but I want something that's going to last. I'm like, well, Chinese pedals will last. They'll last as long as any boutique pedal. And if I'm out on tour or I'm out gigging and I need to find a cheap, I need to find a replacement for my distortion pedal, I don't want to have some unique boutique pedal that was built by a man in a shed that can't be easily replicated or can't be easily sourced. You know, I want something I can get my hands on in any guitar shop. You know, also, like I said earlier on, it comes down to money. Not everyone has the money to buy expensive gear. You know, I have the money to buy expensive gear every now and again, but it's very, very rare I can treat myself to something really expensive. You know, but again, I love the cheap stuff. This Telecaster is fantastic. It sounds, I mean, that bridge pickup. It sounds amazing. It sounds like a Telecaster, you know. Middle. Sounds like a Telecaster to me. You know, it really does, and it feels like a Telecaster as well. It's got this kind of, I don't know, it just feels like a bat. It feels like, you know, if somebody broke into the house, I could defend myself quite nicely with this thing. You know, the build quality is fantastic. It feels just as good as any vintage Tele-Custom I've tried. I love that bridge pickup though. It's got a right aggressive distortion. Does the job for me. And like I say, this could be all somebody could afford. You know, and I always find it really dangerous when these big YouTube channels say, like, you know, oh, well, you know, the cheap stuff isn't worth it, it's beginner level stuff, da-da-da-da-da, because it turns people away, you know, because they'll be like, well, I can't afford a Fender or a Gibson or a PRS, and I can't afford expensive amps. All I can afford is like a Squier and a Boss Katana. And they might think, oh, well, I'm just, you know, I'll never be that good then because I can't afford this because they say that's what I need. I don't like that. And I've seen that. I've literally seen that happen with people where they go, oh, I'll never be any good because all I can afford is this stuff. I can't afford a Gibson, so I'll never be great. That is so annoying. I can't stand that because, yeah, you will be. You know what I mean? Having expensive gear isn't everything. It's nice, but it isn't everything, you know. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, YouTube. And like I say, let me know your thoughts on the John Frusciante signature Strat as well, especially John Frusciante nuts out there. I know there's lots of you. Let me know your thoughts on the John Strat if you've seen the videos. There's not many. I think I've only seen 2 so far. I don't know if there's any more. Matt's got one, and a guitar shop in America has one as well. But I'd like to see one in person. Like, whether that happen, it probably won't, but they're going to be as rare as hen's teeth soon. I would really like to try one. I'd really like to just spend time with one and just see what happens. I know they're collector's items, but I don't know. Also, the fact that you could buy a real 62 Strat, a refin 62 Strat for cheaper than you could buy that one, kind of makes me feel funny. Anyway, Let me know what you think of this kind of video as well, Poochie. Would you like to see more things like this where I just have a bit of a waffle about things and just like, you know, get your opinions as well? Yeah, just let me know, because I just want to kind of see where I can go with the channel more than anything. You know, I always like to see what kind of what's something new I can do. You know, out of curiosity, the dog. And like I say, I'm saying Friday we've got a guitar review. We've got a 7-string to play with. Can't wait. And like I say, it blew me away for things that I didn't expect. Anyway. Very much for watching PeopleTube. Like I say, if you'd like to sign up to my guitar course, linked in the description box below, as well as links to there's a link to my Patreon, there's links to my band, there's links to me on social media and all that yeah, other than that, thank you very much indeed for watching. Have a great morning, afternoon, good evening, and goodbye now. Have well, for some reason I'm drawn to C sharp minor today. I do love C sharp minor. DS2. No one's going to convince me this isn't a fantastically amazing guitar, because it just is.